I have been using the Stream Deck for 5 days. I must say this is exactly what I've been looking for. I'm not a streamer, but I'm an IT pro as well as a gamer. I'm always looking at cool new ways to interact with my computer over icons on a desktop or mouse/keyboard. The games I play have a lot of keybinds and I do a lot of listening to audio while playing, which being able to control these things without having to minimize your game is wonderful. I'll start off by saying I'm running Windows 10 and it's working great. For those comments that say you can't get the Stream Deck to run key combos while you're in game, you need to run the Stream Deck engine as admin, only because your video game or other app is running as such. Any game/app that isn't running as admin can be easily used without setting. This installation is simple and easy to understand. The USB cable is fixed to the device, which does kind of suck, but I've been able to run it with a USB extension cable and it's working fine. I've found it a cinch to get custom key icons. I just go to Google and type in whatever I'm looking for, such as Roser logo, and download the one that looks like what I want and set it to the key, which makes it much easier to learn as you can identify the keys much faster. The device is snappy and has zero lag when pushing buttons. You can make folders, which is a button that gives you a whole new set of buttons. Think of it as a folder on your smartphone when you have a group of apps. This is a super nice feature and I didn't even expect that it would do this, but it does. I know some people say that they are bummed that it will only allow folders on the top level, but this is probably needed, as making a folder structure that is 3 or 4 layers deep would either slow down the device or just make it stop working altogether. I find the size of the device to be about perfect. The buttons are not so small that you have to overly divert your concentration to hit them, and they aren't so big that it's obnoxious. They really did make this easy to use. You can also brighten or dim the buttons depending on your environment. I find this nice, as when I'm gaming at night it's not beaming into my eyeballs. I do wish there was more functionality for things not related to streaming and such. I would like to see more multi-press or even macro support like a proper mouse or keyboard writer does. I would also like to see a way to make multiple profiles, say one for work and one for gaming. This would give the device a lot more functionality. I'm going to be writing the company after this and letting them know these requests, as I really do think this sort of device is the future for input. People are looking for more ways to simplify their computer use or to add that functionality that they want, and this is that device. The fact that the keys are OLED screens so they are illuminated custom icons really makes this device sing. If it were like its competitors where you have to make tiny paper cutouts and then backlight the paper, it just wouldn't do. I would recommend this device to anyone looking for custom key inputs for their computers, games or simulators. This will be installed in my iRacing sim as a replacement button box, and I've already told about 10 people about this and they are all buying one. Even with the fact that it's the first version with only key press assignments or launching apps/websites, it's still enough to get started, and I'll look forward to what they might do in the future. I will update this review if anything changes.
Absolutely worth every penny and more. The Elgato Stream Deck is something you would expect 20 years from now. In my opinion, everyone can benefit from one of these. You can access anything from your PC, i.e., Netflix, social media, multimedia, Photoshop, favorite websites, etc. I keep trying different configurations and it handles anything I come up with. It is easy to set up and configure. The keys are slightly larger than your keyboard keys. They are highly customizable. You can add domain icons, photos, and even create your own through the Elgato software and Photoshop. They have a mechanical feel when activated without the noise. For those who travel, you can easily take the Stream Deck with you. I can see someone who travels to do a presentation or lecture never leaving home without it. A person in sales, marketing, stockbrokers, etc. could use the Stream Deck as a tool. I am going off track a bit, but I wanted to let people know that you can do a lot more with it than streaming and recording gameplay. Feel free to visit my Twitch channel for a demonstration at RLGHLEN. I am usually on in the evening but could log in for a brief review. Just respond to the review. You are really going to enjoy the Stream Deck.
Ordered from Amazon and downloaded and installed software before package arrived. I am an older but capable PC Asus M51 G747 7032 GB 1600 DDR3 Kensington SSD TOSHIBA HDDWINDOWS10 Home. I set up LRMPS folders to root level, then program launch with module shortcuts on next level, and finally all my desired shortcut functions for my uses. As a shortcut/hot trigger, this thing just blows anything else away, nothing compares. X keys stick with 16 buttons is like 100, and no second options. This thing can run over 200 hotkeys/commands. When the unit arrived, I was surprised at the size, as I thought it would be larger, and I had read complaints on the screen's resolution, but I can say, the screen is awesome. You feel the quality in your hands, and the buttons are responsive, maybe too responsive. I did plug it into a USB 2.0 port instead of 3.0, as I've heard some hardware like keyboards prefer 2.0. Windows instantly recognized the unit and my icons were up as soon as I looked down at it. Beautiful. The only 3 cons/opportunities for improvement are 1. Windows 10 and Mac software only, which doesn't affect me as I always upgrade and only use for Adobe CC, but can see if you are heavily invested in software for older versions of Windows that don't have upgrade routes/options. This could be cost prohibitive and you're just out of luck here and have to spend more on an Optimus Popularis or something of that sort. Point 2. The buttons are sensitive. I double launched a few times, but after you get used to them, you learn how much pressure to apply and how fast. So for manufacturer, take a look at adjusting sensitivity. Point 3. No replaceable USB cord. I feel that after a year or so, there might be problems with the cable, but that is yet to be seen. Most devices nowadays have replaceable cables, but at this price point and for what you get, it's a non-issue. I'll just buy another if I tug it too hard. So my conclusion, as a hot/shortcut trigger, there is no better option. I don't stream, so for its intended purpose, I can't say how good it is, but for creatives in the Adobe ecosystem, it would mesh well with palette controllers or give you the few extra buttons that the Lupa deck lacks. So I've had the regular 15-key Stream Deck for a long time and was really excited to see this Stream Deck XL announced. I used this unit for about a month before it started pressing its own keys. I've been trying to work with Elgato support, but it feels like they don't even read what I send in. I posted about my issues on Reddit and there are others that have experienced the same things. I tried the unit on multiple machines and it behaved the same across them all. Overall, I'm not happy with the fact that the unit is essentially useless after little more than a month, and customer service at Elgato doesn't seem to be the greatest.
I've had the Stream Deck for a few days now and I gotta say I'm really impressed so far. It feels like a very premium product and looks it too. The cord is not too long, at only about 3 feet or so, and there is no option to extend it. The LCD screens are very vibrant and the buttons feel solid. When you use a button that is an on/off switch like a source on/ops, the key will light up or dim depending on whether it's activated or not. I can see them in the future possibly releasing updates to add more options to what you can do with the Stream Deck. Some things I would like to see are live streaming controls for YouTube Live, because currently they only allow you to comment/stream through your Twitch account, and I have taken YouTube Gaming as my home for streaming. All the hotkeys that you can program are nice, and you can even set buttons to bring up certain websites at the click of a button. The option to make folders is also a very good feature, though you can only have folders on the main page. I hope they allow for more folders within folders in the future. This has been a game-changing device that I have been able to use for my streams, but I've also set up some pages for Photoshop tools, and I'm planning on doing one for the Sony Vegas Pro tools as well. The option to tweet directly with one button is an awesome feature and I use it frequently. My time with the product has been short and sweet so far, and I can honestly see myself using this product in future products of this line. For years to come. Sturdy plastic material is light and solid, buttons have a good feel to them. Stream Deck doesn't move much on desk. Folders option allows for hundreds of includes Twitter integration, custom hotkeys, media controls, volume up/down deck, fast response time within Stream Deck, and between the deck and PC on/off hotkeys will light up/dim when on or off on the Stream Deck, and lack of YouTube Live support limited to creating folders strictly on the home screen. Lack of cool startup animations, though not really a con, just a visual thing. Short cord and lack of changeable connection feature. Hopes release update to include support for YouTube Live, like the options for Twitch chat message, sub
apps. Viewers, go live/end stream future models with more keys/features would be awesome. Hopefully any future models will also have longer cords/possibly be wireless, though I admit to not knowing how this would affect the latency.
Powerful tool if you are a streamer with its integration to OBS and Streamlabs OBS as well as others, but still useful even if you don't stream. I use it to open all my favorite applications and websites with a push of a button and to control my music player. You can get pretty creative with the icon creation using regular images or animated GIFs. The possibilities are endless with the ability to make numerous profiles and multiple pages of buttons. You can stack commands and even add pauses for some cool macros. Running my stream is easy, but so are other tasks. One cool feature is you can have certain buttons available depending on what program is on the foreground. This would be cool for hot buttons set up for video or photo editing for sure. Overall great product. I have yet to find something I don't like about it other than every now and then I have to hit a button twice.
Like many others who've purchased this before me, I think this is the best thing for streamers since the capture card. It has so many functions and things that it can do. It blew me away. I won't get into the technical details, because there are plenty of other reviews that can explain it far better and you've probably read them by now. I like everything about this device, so the easy review is to list a few things that could be better. The buttons are very vulnerable to glare, even at 100% brightness for the little ramp/tray that holds the deck up at an angle. Needs some rubber feet so it doesn't slide on a smooth desk. Longer cord. The 3 to 4 foot cord isn't awful, but for those of us with a large desk, you'll have to use a USB port. Big thing here, there are many reviews on Reddit and Amazon that say you cannot use this on a USB port. That is not true. The device is USB 2.0 and requires more power than a USB 2.0 port allows. How do you fix this? I a USB 3.0 port. Look at the one in my picture. Had it for 2 years and the Stream Deck plugged in and functioned with zero issues. So don't listen to the naysayers who are ignorant. I a USB 3.0 port that has external power feeding it, and you will not need to worry about the short cord.
I do a lot of editing in Final Cut Pro X. I'm really bad at remembering shortcut keys. This solved my problem. I was able to design a layout with my most used function keys and now have shuttle, zoom, editing, timing and other functions quite literally at my fingertips. While designed for many online activities, this little gem can be programmed to control many programs. I'm in the process of adding basic control keys for things like Logic X, word processing and other apps I use on a regular basis. The ability to create and assign your own icons is very cool, allowing the visual cue to be exactly what triggers my mental response to #34. I need to make it go forward &34. Worth looking into if you do any repetitive tasks on your computer.
If you use DaVinci Resolve, this is a must. I couldn't imagine using it without this. I have all my shortcuts for each page, color, edit, etc. And I can quickly sort through various tabs, pages, add nodes, etc. There is a lot more you can do with this than meets the eye. This isn't just for gamers, and I would say if you color grade, video edit, photo edit, etc. this is something that'll speed up your workflow and make your life easier.